cards in the air once again. Deep into this cash game session.
52 to play.
And not the first time we've seen Eric Liu open a pot.
Cool.
And not the first time we've seen Neil Channing follow him in.
That's not interference on your telly, by the way. That's Andy Black. I think he was doing Rihanna there, I'm not sure. Well, Jamie Brown is making use of his tight image. Re-raises with 10-8 suited.
Well, I told him he needs to do it, and looks like he's going to. But he's got a caller on the button from Riku Virasari.
Pass.
Interesting play from Riku, isn't it? Calling a tight play as re-raise. He figures that Jamie Brown's on a very narrow range of hands.
Yeah, perhaps he's trying to beat a big hand. Wow, what a flop for Riku.
How do you know when to do that, Gary? I've never mastered that.
The amount of times I've called with the 8-6 to try and catch a big hand, and it's come down ace,
14, 20.
king 10. I just can't count. I haven't mastered that art.
No, Riku Virasari clearly has. Now, how does he play the nuts here?
50, 100 maybe, once every 10 days. Or
how much was it?
14, 25.
If he thinks he's up against aces or kings, he can raise here. If he doesn't, he can just call and hopefully let Jamie hang himself.
Apart from like Russian.
Metaphorically, of course.
3.
Yeah, that would be not great TV. Well, that card is not the greatest for Riku. He'd been hoping for something like a king or ace to come off so that either Jamie catched or he could bluff.
Yeah, it looks about as scary as it gets.
If you've got the middle card, you're like easy money.
23.
He's a bit unlucky, really, Riku. He's called to crack what he hopes is a big pair. Catches the perfect flop. And it's the one time that Jamie Brown's making a play.
Putting money in.
Yeah, I don't have that much sympathy for him after he calls with the 8-6 and flops the joint.
It is true.
I'm a harsher marker. Jamie's giving this a bit of an act, but pretty sure this is going to be the end of this hand.
Pass.
Make it look like he's made a good lay down.
No, he can't. Sorry.
Oh, how about half of one?
Riku from Finland has been down for most of this cash game, but a couple of big pots, and he's turned it round. He was over 17,000 euros in the hole. He's now just 800 down. That would feel like a win, Gary.
Certainly will. It's amazing the amount of times you can go up early and then drop a bit, and you end up feeling like you've lost on the day, and the amount of times you can go down early, get a lot of it back, and feel like you've won.
It actually is one of the best feelings if you play cash regularly, isn't it, to get that money back in the session?
It is, yes.
We knew we had a decent lineup of players, but it doesn't always equate to good action. But this game's had pretty much everything you could ask for.
Yeah, plenty of moves, a lot of removes, a lot of big hands, a lot of not so big hands still winning.
3, 2, 5.
A lot of aggression with very marginal hands. This is a monster for Andy Black, the ace-9. He's been racing up with some really quite creative hands. This one about as big as he's had for a while, the ace-9.
Cool.
Creative is code for garbage. The ace-9 is almost a genuine hand. He's going to get plenty of action though, Andy. Everybody else knows that he's been raising.
He's got a good hand. He's got a call.
Got a very good hand.
I was just trying to.
I was getting enormous odds.
Very kind of interesting there, but.
Well, whoever was in front should be staying in front with that pot, and that's actually right. The ace-9 still good.
850.
And it's going to bet. Under some circumstances, Albert might have called in that spot to maybe make a play against Andy Black, but with two other players in the blinds behind him, he probably decides there's going to be a better spot.
Well, Harry looks like he's going to make a play.
Certainly going through his mind.
He doesn't usually fiddle with chips unless he's going to put them in the middle.
3-3-50.
Check raise from Eric Liu.
Pass.
And he read that right.
Yeah, very good play. Very sharp on the ball.
It felt like a bluff.
Does give you the impression he's constantly looking for opportunities to make chips, Eric.
Yeah.
Felt like a bluff.
Yep,
Saw
and that's
on that.
why he's won the most today, I think. He's always there, always hungry.
Weird.
I'm a very adaptable player. I'm not really too loose or too aggressive or too tight. I mean, I really see how other people are playing and I adjust to their play based on what they've been doing so far. My greatest strength probably just the ability to keep my cool. I think the difference between a lot of successful mid-stakes players and a lot of successful really high-stakes players is just that ability to not tilt and to not do off your bankroll. How do I hide my weaknesses? Well, I mean, I try to work on them as much as possible. Like I mentioned the tilt factor, and I definitely had that weakness moving up in stakes, and it really just comes with a lot of experience and a lot of years of playing and putting in the hours and being able to really deal with it and then think about it later, reflect, and then come back and be a stronger player. A lot of times I'll look through my hands, mostly during downswings. I mean, when I'm doing well, when I'm playing well, I don't really worry about my game too much. I'm like, oh, I'm awesome. But when I'm doing poorly, a lot of times I'll look through my hands. Some of them, if I thought I'd played them questionably, think about the ways I could have played it differently. What I thought was true, maybe it wasn't true. I'd like to think I'm the biggest threat today to everyone else. So I would go in there with a pretty confident mindset and getting ready to outplay everyone.
Riku Ferrasari was our big loser at one point. Now almost breaking even. Great comeback for him.
$175. Cool.
Yeah. You call me a nit. That's the problem.
Eastgate opens this pot with the Jack-10 of spades. Eric Liu's clearly getting a bit restless, calling with a 9-5 of spades.
Cool.
Channing's in, and Jamie Brown's calls with the Queen 3. Now, if we can find 3 more spades, we've got a really interesting
5,
pot.
8, 4.
I don't think they put that many in the deck, though,
Check.
do
It
they?
won't give me odds that a 6 or a 7 comes in
Check.
post.
Let's hope so.
To me?
Check.
Well, Eric Liu's junky hand is actually in front.
And he's going to protect it
450.
with a bet.
And I have one of those guys.
And Neil's got a gut shot.
And an
Backdraw
ace high.
diamonds. Yeah.
Cool.
Jamie and Peter will fold. We're head up.
Here we go. Bah.
5.
So close.
Well, it's Eric Liu's day, isn't it? When you're
Okay.
making 9-5, make monster hands.
Still felt good about it.
That's the definition of running good.
Oops.
$2,400 in the pot.
1750.
Eric bets about 2/3 of it. Tough to see what Neil can do here, Gary, apart from give up the chase.
He's played pretty tight.
Well, here we go. Neil makes a move. He's walking into a minefield, I'm afraid.
4-3-50.
Representing the hand Eric's got, right?
Exactly. At some point, Eric's got to think, maybe my hand's not good.
Can you pull in the bet, please?
Just trying to work out how much more it is to him. He's getting
I
some
hate it
pretty...
when they do that. It's never. I always realise I didn't bet enough.
How much you playing?
I don't know.
Yeah. Should probably stop asking that question when I can actually see it from here.
It's like 14 behind.
14 behind.
What's Eric thinking here, Gary?
Well, it's starting to occur to him that maybe his hand isn't good. How much could this cost him? And if he re-raises, is he pretty well committed if Neil moves in? Well, we can tell him if he re-raises, Neil probably isn't going to move in.
Well, Neil Channing hasn't made a move like this, I don't think, all session. I don't think we've seen him make a big bluff like this.
He might pass, you never know. But I very much doubt it. I think it's just too little.
Cool.
He just calls. We're going to see the river.
Well, you can play with
Check.
it.
Well, the river doesn't change anything, and Neil Channing will need to decide whether to fire again at this pot. He knows it's the only way he can win the pot. Does he think Eric Liu has a hand he can be moved off? 11,000 euros in the pot.
Check.
And Neil's going to give it up. Eric trying to figure out how much he can get paid on the river here, but we know it's a futile calculation, right? Luckily they don't award points for chip tricks, isn't it? Because Eric would be a lot further behind than he is.
Looks like
750.
750.
Well, Neil's going to try and save a bit of face here, but not too much. Doesn't waste too much time. Eric takes another pot down. It's going to take him even further away from the field. It really has been his day when a great player like him also gets the cards. That's what happens. 45,900 euros of profit from a 10,000 euro buy-in. That's a good session.
It's a very good session. Worth coming all the way from the US for, really.
Yeah, pay his fare home. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Bad news for world champion Peter Eastgate as he drops 20,000 euros, but Andy Black's really in the black. Albert Iverson's over 30,000 euros to the good, and if Eric Liu wins any more money, players will be coming to me for a loan. He's 45,900 euros up. After an uneasy start to the game, Finnish player Riku Virasari has managed to make an impressive comeback. Other players looking to follow suit include Cypriot Bambos, who's suffered heavy losses so far, along with world champion Peter Eastgate. We'll see you next time.